Let's start today by thinking about something really basic, something fundamental maybe about
Mhm.
being human. I mean, think about a child. A child never really knows when they're tired, do they?
No, not in the way we think about it. They don't say, oh, I feel weary, I need a nap. It shows up completely differently.
Yeah, it comes out sideways, like this sudden absolute conviction.
Exactly. Misplaced conviction. So instead of just getting sleepy, the child suddenly hates mummy with a passion. Or, decides their entire self-worth depends on throwing a bread knife sharp end first.
Or sees a button that fell off a coat as
Yeah.
this utter catastrophe, like the world is ending right there on the
Yeah,
carpet.
and the conviction is so intense, isn't it? It's heartbreaking because for them in that moment, it's completely real and often pretty destructive.
That's where the parent, the adult, steps in, that crucial role.
Right. The parent sees past the drama, past the conviction. They see the underlying cause, the exhaustion the child is missing.
And they say, gently but firmly, okay, enough now. That's the tiredness talking. Let's get you to bed, with real deep conviction themselves.
Gently but fast.
So here's the question that really hits home for us as adults. Why are we so bad at doing that for ourselves? Why do we just ignore the signs that our own minds and bodies have basically, stopped working properly?
We just keep pushing, don't we?
Yeah.
We mistake just being upright for actually being functional. We think, I'm fine, I can handle this. But actually, we've sort of slipped into a different
A
mode.
much more reactive, maybe dangerous mode.
Tough hero.
And that's really what this deep dive is all about today. We want to explore that low battery state, that really critical, almost invisible, perilous zone of adult fatigue.
And understand the hidden dangers, the psychological traps of trying to operate with an exhausted mind. Okay, so this perilous zone, to really get it, we need to paint a picture of how we get there, because it's usually not one big thing, is it?
No, it's not like you ran a marathon. It's
Yeah.
accumulation, the sheer weight of little things piling up.
Exactly. Let's just take stock of a fairly normal, draining day. You know the kind.
Okay, so maybe it's past 7 p.m., you got maybe 6 hours of sleep last night, and it was patchy. Woke up feeling groggy at 6:30.
Right. And you've probably had, what, 4 cups of coffee already? Trying to sort of paper over the cracks with caffeine?
Uh-huh. And then the day itself.
Yeah, the day. Let's say 67 emails you had to deal with. You had to cross town twice, fighting traffic or public transport.
Maybe 4 meetings, couple of presentations that felt high stakes.
Fueled by, I don't know, 4 slices of pizza grabbed on the go. Not exactly nourishing.
And then there's a constant input. Maybe you scrolled through 45 short, flashy, viral videos that just frazzle your brain.
Plus reading headlines about, say, 15 different global conflicts.
Right.
And maybe 12 local scandals or controversies.
Okay, just listing all that feels exhausting.
It is exhausting. And the point is, somewhere in all that, unbeknownst to us, as the source material puts it, we've crossed a line. We've entered that perilous zone.
A place where you need extraordinary care, apparently, just to navigate the rest of the evening without...
Well, without crashing.
Exactly. Without causing damage. You're not operating normally anymore, even if you feel like you are.
And this really challenges how we usually think about burnout or breakdown, doesn't it?
It does, because we have this idea that real debilitating exhaustion must follow something heroic, something huge.
Like climbing Everest, yeah. Or performing brain surgery for 12 hours, something dramatic.
We think only those grand efforts justify feeling utterly spent, but that's not really how it works for most of us day to day.
So what is it then? What really pushes us into that danger zone?
It's the cumulative effect. It's the many decades, or even just many months, of invisible minor aggravations and low-grade frictions.
Decades.
Or just the constant drip, drip, drip of modern life, that low-level friction.
Every email ping, every traffic jam, every annoying news alert, every demand on your attention. Exactly. Each one is like a tiny grain of sand rubbing away at your energy, your resilience, until suddenly the battery level drops below critical.
But you're still trying to run the show like you're fully charged.
Precisely. And that gap between how capable you think you are and how capable you actually are, right, then that's where the danger lies. So when you're in that zone, running on empty, the first thing to go is perspective.
Right. Your energy plummets, and your sense of proportion just vanishes.
Your whole way of thinking gets distorted. Your emotions become incredibly unstable. This is that behavioral fallout we really need to watch out for.
And the kinds of mistakes we make then, they're quite specific, aren't they? They seem to revolve around a loss of charity Empathy.
Very much so. The first big danger sign is when you start seeing only the flaws, the idiocies in what other people are doing.
And you lose the ability to even consider why they might be doing it, the reasons behind it.
Completely gone. You can't access that part of your brain that allows for grace, for benefit of the doubt. You see a mistake or something clumsy and bam, it's judgment,
Yeah.
not curiosity.
Because curiosity and empathy take energy.
They take energy you just don't have. So the system shuts down.
That sounds corrosive. Especially in relationships.
Oh, it is. And it leads straight into the next danger. Starting to see accidents as deliberate attacks.
Ah, yeah. The spilled coffee isn't just a slip. It's because your partner secretly hates that rug you bought.
Or the person who cuts you off in traffic isn't just careless. They're intentionally trying to provoke you, personally. Malice aforethought.
And if you genuinely believe that, in the moment, how do you even continue a conversation?
You can't, not constructively. You're immediately defensive, hostile even. Which brings us to maybe the saddest danger of the exhausted mind.
Which is?
The urge to wound someone close to you, your partner, your kids, your family.
Why them?
Because they're there. They're safe targets. In a twisted way, you feel this deep, simmering rage maybe at your boss or the news or just the universe in general for the day you've had.
But you can't lash out at the universe.
Exactly. So you lash out at the person closest to you. You make them a proxy for all that frustration. It's a desperate, unfair attempt to discharge that pent-up anger.
That's painful to think about.
It is. And then there's the fourth danger, which is maybe the most basic impulse when we're tired and frustrated.
Let me guess. Shouting.
Thinking that shouting might actually solve something complex, raising your voice because you've lost the energy for nuance or reason.
Substituting volume for logic.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there.
We have. And you know you're deep in this perilous zone when tiny things trigger massive reactions.
Like that tiny chip in the paint on the wall that you suddenly notice and it fills you with blinding rage.
Or the fact the sellotapes run out. Or just the way your partner said one single word, like, really?
And you just explode.
When that happens, that huge wave of anger over something so small, you have to force yourself to see, this isn't about the chip. It's not about the tape.
It's a proxy.
It's a proxy. It's a stand-in for the fact that you are utterly, profoundly exhausted physically and mentally. That anger is about something else entirely. It's a symptom.
Okay, so you have that moment of clarity. You realize, wow, this rage isn't about the sellotape. I'm just incredibly tired.
Well,
What then?
immediate pivot to self-preservation. Damage control. Which means first imposing some strict must-nots on yourself.
Okay, like rules for the exhausted.
Exactly. Because you're in, as the source says, a hugely fragile state. You have to protect that fragility and protect others from it.
So what's off limits?
Anything requiring complex thought, emotional negotiation, or executive function. So, for example, definitely do not start talking about needing to tidy the upstairs cupboard.
Right, because that involves planning, effort, maybe disagreement, energy you don't have.
Precisely. Don't bring up complicated holiday plans. Don't start a heavy conversation like, why don't we ever have any fun anymore?
Oh, God, no. That requires philosophical depth you can't possibly access right now.
And absolutely under any circumstances, do not choose that moment when you're totally depleted to suggest going through the finances together.
That sounds like a recipe for guaranteed disaster.
It is. These are high-stakes conversations needing a full battery. Trying them on empty just leads to conflict.
So instead of tackling those big things, what's the right move?
It's about confession and retreat. You need to signal to the people around you, the people you care about.
Let them know what's going on inside.
Yes. You need to flag up that. Basically, despite the maybe angry or stony face you're presenting, you've slipped into this really fragile state.
How do you even say that without sounding dramatic?
Well, the source has this lovely suggestion. Make the confession with a mild smile. Acknowledge the slightly absurd state you're in.
Like admitting defeat, almost.
Sort of, declaring that you have, to all intents, gone mad. Just for now. It lowers the stakes, acknowledges you're not yourself.
Honey, just so you know, I've temporarily gone mad.
Exactly. It's the first step towards recovery because you're naming it. You're admitting this isn't the real me operating right now.
And framing it that way. It actually makes the next step an act of love, doesn't it?
It does. Because the solution is to show love by escaping, by removing yourself from the situation you're currently poisoning with your low battery negativity.
Retreating for the good of the realm.
Precisely. And the recommended remedy is beautifully simple. It's the ultimate act of self-parenting.
Okay.
Give yourself a long, quiet bath, no complicated thoughts allowed. And crucially, Put yourself to bed early, like not much past 9.
9 p.m. That feels ridiculously early for an adult.
It is, but it's the perfect time for the temporary persona you've adopted.
Yeah.
You're not a capable adult right now. You're that exhausted small bunny who has been very active since just after dawn.
Okay, I like that image. The exhausted small bunny needs its burrow.
Needs its burrow, needs to shut down. It's the essential retreat. It stops you saying or doing things you'll regret.
And then you just trust.
You trust in that age-old wisdom, the thing kind people have always told us. It really will all seem a lot more bearable in the morning.
The promise of perspective returning with rest.
Exactly.
So wrapping this up, this whole deep dive into exhaustion, it really comes down to a kind of ethical responsibility, doesn't it? Especially in our relationships.
I think so. Perhaps the kindest, most responsible thing we can do for the people around us is to get really good at recognizing when we are no longer truly ourselves.
When the fatigue has taken over the controls.
Yeah. And then applying that same gentle, firm conviction that a loving parent uses with a melting down toddler, but applying it to our own adult selves.
Intervening on your own behalf. Saying, okay, me, that's enough. Time for bed. Before you mistake an accident for malice or say something truly damaging.
Prioritizing rest over that argument you feel compelled to have. Prioritizing recovery over pushing through. Because 99% of the awful things said or done at the end of a long, draining day.
They're not really about the thing you're arguing about.
Not at all. They're about the battery level you didn't notice hitting 0.
It's a powerful reminder to monitor our own internal state.
Definitely. So maybe the thought to leave everyone with, as you reflect on your own energy drains and that need for rest, what difficult conversation are you maybe putting off right now? Or perhaps worse, what difficult conversation are you trying to force right now when you know deep down
that this just isn't the time? That it needs to wait until you're rested, calmer, and actually thinking straight.
exactly what needs to wait for morning?